Middleton. 6 after 9, and let's say hi now to a guy, Charles Farrell of Barry Road in Alcrington, Middleton. He's a Blondie fan. Well, actually, Debbie Harry and also Jim Destri, while Blondie were here in Manchester, came into the studio. First of all, I asked Jimmy Destri how he found the English reaction to Blondie's music.
Different, to say the least, because it's not what they expect. I think they expect New York bands to sound like one unified thing, and now they're discovering that every band coming out of America has their own sound.
Well, definitely Blondie has its own sound, but many critics have said that it's really just old 60s stuff, sort of hyped up to 1977. How would you react to if people have said that?
No, I think they're wrong, actually, because it's just, it's just a mirror of what you grew up on. Listening to stuff that you grew up on, you naturally take in things and rearrange in their own way, but I don't think any band at all from then till now sounds like Blondie.
What do you feel your songs are projecting?
Everyday life and rock and roll.
Well, your first single over in this country was Ex-Offender. What was that basically about?
Well, it was about, originally it was about a young boy who is accused or convicted of a sex crime, which is really has nothing to do with being a crime. It's a crime of innocence. And he falls in love with his probation officer. That's what it's about. I saw you standing on the corner. You look so big and fine. I really wanted to go out with you. So when you smiled, I laid my heart on your mind.
That's Ex-Offender, also from the album Blondie. Over to Jimmy. Of course, your marvellous keyboards all through every track on the album. Do you think it's important to have this flowing keyboards at the background and synthesizers all through?
There's more organ than synthesizers. I think it was new to use that instrument I used. I used a Buck-Peaser organ. They haven't used one in years. So I think everybody sort of picked up on it. Accidentally, more than, it wasn't really preconceived.
Okay, maybe this is why some critics say it's sort of like the 60s stuff, because it's an early instrument, maybe.
Maybe just the instrumentation, but I don't think the songs themselves are.
But the songs are sort of 3 minutes, 4 minutes, which is the early traditions, isn't it?
It's like returning the game from being a pitcher's game to a batter's game. And like rock and roll has gone through a lot of evolution and changing, and it seems that the 3 minute, 2 minute format is the most effective and, seems to be the most enlightened, actually.
But of course, it's very fun, isn't it? As soon as you put the stylus on, the bright, fresh sound comes from. Do you think this is important for people to have fun when they hear the music?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's, especially going back to the 3 minute song, all the songs that you can remember through your life are the ones that are 3 minutes and have a melody, and the ones that give you some kind of spark, so it's definitely important for us to do that.
What do you feel about these techno rock bands, I suppose they call themselves, the ones that have sort of 10, 20 minute tracks?
Well, that's fine. It was a phase that everybody went through, and there were some interesting things out of it, but I didn't think it would last too long, and naturally it's dying out now. I'm glad to see something else is coming up, and people are just interested in songs.
Okay, let's hear one more track from the album now, something that I think would be a very successful single. That's Rip Her to Shreds. That's Rip Her to Shreds there from the Blondie album, one that you include on your stage act.
Yeah, that's a very good song to do live because it's you can act it out. It's not abstract at all. It's about gossip. Everybody gossips and everybody understands it.
Do you think it's important to have a stage act or just sort of stand there and play?
Oh no, I think it's important to transmute to the audience the energy you're feeling when you're playing. The best way to do that is to feel it, as you're playing. When I play, I feel it coming up my spine. When I hit a chord that I really like, it comes up my spine. And
let's talk about the early days of Blondie.
Blondie started about 2 years ago when Chris and I met up with Clem, our drummer, and our drummer brought Gary, our bass player, over, and Jimmy was on the scene hanging out, and we passed the word around that we wanted to get a keyboard player, and he volunteered. The fool.
From that point on, we all just started working together and writing together and doing more rehearsal than anything else. And we were stuck together in this loft like 18 hours a day, just playing back and forth. And finally we got a sound that somebody appreciated.
Yeah. What about musical writing? Do you all sort of come together for that, or who writes most of the songs?
It's usually it's a combined effort on arrangements. Usually one of us comes up with a theme or a melody line, and sometimes they're total and complete by one person, or they're cooperative efforts. You know, someone will say, I have a line, do you have a lyric, and so on.
Okay, let's do one more track then from the album. Which one would you choose?
I guess you could play In the Flesh.
That's really a sort of a parody of 50s style, isn't it?
It's a direct rip-off.